when everybody else was waiting for leads, I heard about a storm that had happened a couple hours away, and I just went out there and started knocking on doors. And they were making fun of me in the text that I was still at home sleeping. And I walked in that night with a big giant stack of contracts. And at that point, things kind of shifted. We hired up a canvassing crew. Like people started realizing they needed to go out and work.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So you really shook things up coming in there.
Yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
that's awesome. Yeah, I think I keep hearing that consistent thread through all of this of networking and the power of like having that network, which it seems like that's led to a lot of the different experiences that you've had. Can you talk about that? What's your philosophy when it comes to networking?
So I think you should go out and try and serve the people in your community, that serve the people in your network and around you. I went out and did a lot of work for realtors that I wasn't going to get paid for, and I knew that, but it led to more work later. And same thing with BNI, going in and just serving, and they say givers gain, and going out and doing that, it always comes back around in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. No, I love that. I saw you on a different podcast that you were on recently, and you talked about similarly in the sales side is like being very focused on just serving the person that you're selling to, as opposed to trying to be slick and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
not smart enough to be slick. I'm here to help you, and here's how we help. And they
yeah,
either, it's for them or it isn't.
yeah, no, absolutely, and I love that mindset, and I think this is I identified to a certain extent with like the doing tons of different jobs and things over the years. That's been sort of my experience too. And I think it makes you such a well-rounded person having so many different experiences to draw from. But when I was doing sales, that was my biggest kind of trap that I fell into is I fell into the trap of like trying to optimize like everything I was saying and all my like memorizing all these tracks. And I remember at the time I was actually selling with my cousin. We were selling together. We were working for the same company. And he looked like he was 12 years old. He's not 12 years old, the same age as me, but he looked like he was 12 years old. He would just go out and kind of like run like jumble up the pitch, be too quiet, like do it all wrong. But he would sell twice as much as me, and I couldn't figure out why. And it's just because he would just be there, looking like a 12-year-old trying to help out the neighbors. And I was like the slick sales guy with the white shoes and the everything squared away. And it's just not the way it doesn't. Like, my experience was it doesn't work like you feel like it should.
Yeah, your cousin probably just felt like a kid from the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah, just trying to help, just a kid from the neighborhood trying to help out. So, was that something that always kind of came naturally to you, do you think, or is that something that you sort of developed over the years where you realized, um, like, you realize, oh, like this is the way sales need to be done?
I've just always been a genuine person. I'm not smart enough to be slick. It's just the gist of it. But when I was a little kid, at one point, my mom was kind of a mess, and she loved me to death, but she was just a mess. I knew that she wasn't going to give me any money, and there was a girl in my class that I wanted to take to the movies, and so I said, "Well, how can I do that?" And so I looked around. We were living in kind of the inner city. There was lots of apartments around me, and it seemed like nobody liked to take the trash out. And so I went and I knocked on every door and I asked to take the trash out for a dime. Most of them handed me $1 and sent me on my way. And I realized, oh, there's something to this. Just go out, ask if you can help people, and if you can help them, you get money. And so I made a bunch of money, and then we moved overnight. I never got my date with Destiny. And years later, when I was out knocking those doors, it occurred to me, oh, maybe I got my date with Destiny.
I love that story. That is good.